Hello everyone, hope you have an amazing day and welcome to my new blog. Today our topic is the Industrial Dispute Act Part 2, 1947. So the primary stage. So it's as you all know the definition of it's in this act unless there is anything repugnant in the subject or context. Appropriate government means in relation to any industrial disputes concerning any industry carried on by or under the authority of the central government or by a railway company or concerning any such controlled industry as may be specified in this behalf by the central government of in relations to an industrial dispute concerning a dock labor board established under section 5A of the Dock Workers Regulations of Employees Act 1948 9 of 1948 or the Industrial Finance Corporations of India Limited formed and registered under the Companies Act 1956 or the Employees State Insurance Corporation established under Section 3 of the Employees State Insurance Act 1948, 34 of 1948, or the Board of Trustees constituted under Section 3A of the Coal Mines Provided Fund and Miscellaneous Provisions Act 1948 also, that is 46 of 1948, or the Central Board of the Trustees and State Boards of Trustees constituted under Section 5A and Section 5B respectively of the Employees Provident Fund and Miscellaneous Provisions Act 1952, that is 19 of 1952, or the Life Insurance Corporation of India established under Section 3 of the Life Insurance Corporation Act 1956, that is 31 of 1956, or the Oil of Natural Gas Corporation registered under the Companies Act 1956, or the Deposit Insurance or Credit Guarantee Corporations established under Section 3 of the Deposit Insurance or Credit Guarantee Corporation Act 1961, that is 47 of 1961, or the Central Warehousing Corporation established under Section 3 of the Warehousing Corporation Act 1962, that is 58 of 1962, or the Unit Trust of India established under Section 3 of the Unit Trust of the India, that is 1963 of, that is 52 of 1963 that I mentioned, or the Food Corporation of India established under Section 3, or the Board of Management established for two or more contiguous states under Section 16 of the Food Corporation Act, that is 1964, 37 of 1964, or the Airports Authority of India constituted under Section 3 of the Airports Authority of India, that is 1994, or a Regional Rural Bank established under Section 3 of the Regional Rural Bank Act 1976, that is 21 of 1976, or the Export Credit or Guarantee Corporation Limited, or the Industrial Reconnections Bank of India, or the National Housing Bank established under Section 3 of the National Housing Bank Act 1987, or the Banking Service Commission established under Section 3 of the Banking Service Commission Act, that is 1975, or the banking or an insurance company, a mine or coal field, a cantonment board or a major port, the central government, and in relations to any other industrial disputes, the state government. So employees of central government canteen, a canteen run by the a contractor uh, in the establishment and the premises of Hindustan Petroleum Corporations Limited, a public section corporation, it was held that in case of a dispute of in respect of employees of canteen, the central government will be appropriate government because the corporations maintains the canteens under the Factories Act, and the appropriate government in case of corporation is the central government, Central Employees Association versus Union of India and others, that is 1992, and one lab LGLJ 242 Bombay. So termination of service disputes regarding in case of the service of the respondent were terminated by the contractor who who was her immediate employer. The petitioner was contractor of Southeastern Railways, and he was engaged laborers on the premises of railways of railways as at the rates fixed by the railways. The disputes regarding terminations of services was referred by the state government of adjudications of labor court, and the award was challenged, and it was held that in view of the fact that Contract Labor Regulations and Abolitions Act 1970 was applicable in the case, the Southeastern Railway was the principal employer and the contractor immediate employer of the respondent also. The award was caused because in the opinion of the High Court, the work was connected that with Southeastern Railway, the central government was the appropriate government. They refer to the disputes, and where the central government or state government was the appropriate government in respect of the national laboratory set up by its parent body, that is Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, that is CSIR. It was held that the Central Electrochemical Research Institute as well as the CSIR were functioning under the authority of the central government, notwithstanding with the fact that CSIR was held not an authority under the central government within the meaning of the Art 12 of the constitutions. So the court's conclusions was supported by the notifications of the central government, wherein it has stated that CSIR is a society owned and controlled by the central government, and the award was pushed because the reference was made by the state government and administrative officer, Central Electrochemical Research Institute. And the in the case of the monthly paid workman, in the three complete complete calendar months, and in case of the weekly paid workman in the four complete weeks, in the case of the daily paid workman in the 12 full working days, and preceding that date on which the average pay becomes payable if the workman had worked for 3 complete calendar months or 4 complete weeks or 12 full working days, as the case may be, and where such as calculations cannot be made, the average pay shall be calculated as the average of the wage payable to the workman during the period of the actual work. Now, the award means an interim or a final determinations of any industrial disputes or any question relating thereto by any labor code, industrial tribunal or national industrial tribunal, or includes an arbitrations award made under section 10A. And banking company means a banking company as defined in section number 5 of a Banking Companies Act 1949, 10 of 1949, having branches or other establishment in more than one state, and includes the Export Import Bank of India, the Industrial Reconstructions Bank of India, and the Industrial Development Bank of India, the Small Industries Development Bank of India, established under Section 3 of the Small Industries Development Bank of India Act 1989, that is 39 of 1989, and the Reserve Bank of India, the State Bank of India, a corresponding new bank constituted under Sections 3 of the Banking Companies Acquisitions and the Transfer of Undertakings Act 1970, corresponding new bank constituted under Section 3 of the Banking Companies and acquiescing the Transfer of Undertaking Act 1980, and any subsidiary bank as defined in the State Bank of India Subsidiary Bank Act 1959, that is 38 of 1959. Board means a board of conciliations constituted under this act, and closure means the permanent closing down of a place of employment or part thereof. And conciliations officer means a conciliations officer appointed under this act. Conciliations proceeding means any proceeding held by a conciliations officer or board under this act. And controlled industry means any industry the control of which by the union has been declared by any central act to be expedient in the public interest also. Court means a court of inquiry constituted under this act. Employer means in relations to an industry carried on by or under the authority of any department of the central government or any state government, the authority prescribed in the behalf or where no authority is prescribed, the head of the department in relations to any industry carried on by or on behalf the local authority, the chief executive officer of that authority. Now, executive in relations to a trade union means the body by whereas name called to which the management of the affairs of the trade union is entrusted. A person shall be deemed to be independent for the purpose of his appointment as the chairman or other member of a board, court or tribunals if he is unconnected with the industrial dispute referred to such board, court or tribunal or with any industry directly affected by such dispute, and provided that no person shall cease to be independent by reason only if only the fact that he is shareholder of an incorporated company which is connected with or likely to be affected by such industrial disputes. But in such a case, he shall disclose to the appropriate government the nature and extent of the shares held by him in such company. Industry means any systematic active carried on by cooperation between an employer and his workmen, where such workmen are employed by such employer directly or by or through any agency, including a contractor, for the production, supply, or distributions of goods or services, with a view of satisfy human wants or wishes, not being wants or wishes which are merely spiritual or religious in nature, where or whether or not any capital has been invested for the purpose of carrying on such activity, or such activity is carried on with a motivate or motive to make any gain or profit, and includes any activity of the Dock Labor Board established under sections 5A of the Dock Workers Regulations of the Employment Act, that is 1948, 9 of 1948, any activity relating to the promotions of sales or business or both carried on by an establishment, but does not include any agricultural operations except where such agricultural operations is carried on in an integrated manner with any other activity, being such any such activity as is referred to in the foregoing provisions of this clause, and such other activity is the predominant one. Explanations for the purposes of these sub-clause agricultural operations does not include any activity carried on in plantations is as defined in clause of section 2 the Plantations Labor Act 1951, or hospitals or dispensaries or educational, scientific research or training institutions or institutions owned or managed by the organizations wholly or substantially engaged in any charitable society of services or khadi or village industries, also any activity of the government relatable to the sovereign functions of the government, including all the activities carried on by the departments of the central government dealing with defense research, atomic energy and space, or any domestic services or any activity being a professions practiced by an individual or body or individuals if the number of the persons employed by the industrial body and individual body or individual in relations of such professions is less than 10, or any activity being an activity carried on by a cooperation society or a club or any other like body of individuals if the number of persons employed by the cooperative society, club or other like body of individuals in relations to such activity is less than. So that's for the video, my friends. Thanks for watching my educational channel. If you like my channel, please subscribe, comment and share my educational channel. Thanks a lot for watching.